they don't like this stuff, then they're going to arrest you for it and they give you a ticket. And that's the problem with this is selective enforcement and basically, again, like giving away that using it as an ability to stop somebody driving that might not, you know, yeah. Let's not be let's call it as it is. There's racism rampant in Ohio. I mean, is there? I mean, the Republican candidate for governor is finding out just how bad it is. Um, and again, this bill with all the criminal penalties it has to it made things worse. And we're supposed to. The people voted for to decriminalize it. As Joe said, the bill was to regulate marijuana like alcohol and tobacco. That was the name of the bill. That was the name of what was out there. And of course, we didn't regulate anything. We just decided to make our own rules up. That's the problem. And unfortunately, the city of Columbus can do all they want, but the city of Columbus, unfortunately, not going to be able to convince the majority of people in the House and Senate that we got it wrong. I mean, everybody in Franklin County happens to be of all the same persuasion as our city council, and we're not the ones that are making these bad laws.
I don't think my testimony is helpful to the call.
What's that?
I don't think my testimony is helpful to the call in most cases.
Probably not because the letters D, E, and I in this building are evil. I mean, my colleagues think D, E, and I are the worst two letters of the alphabet. So you can't use that stuff here.
Might be THC.
What?
Might be THC. I think are the worst two.
Most of my colleagues have no idea what THC is, but they know DEI because the Orange Headed Menace talks about it all the time. So that's the problem here is, you know, the makeup of the General Assembly. I mean, it's just first and foremost.
Thank you so much. And I'm actually going to bring one more question right to you, Senator, and then we're going to open it back up to another general question or two, and then we'll probably open it up for some Q&A from the audience here. James, if you have something you want to add?
Yeah, I was just going to add a little more context also for what you guys are talking about. Not only my local, because Columbus does have fantastic weed, sidebar. Don't hold that against me. But saying that, really it comes back down to the conversation of should peaceful adults face penalties for choices or if they're not harming others. And when you look at that, that's something that any kind of prohibition, if you look at it historically from alcohol, if you're looking at it from marijuana, we run into that issue where it actually just ends up creating a black market and again reduces the quality of it for the actual distribution itself and the product. But to your point, there is a huge component of being able to facilitate the educational side. And my wife works as a vet tech, and I can't tell you the amount of times that a dog has gotten into edibles and has just the red eyes when she takes all the pictures for it, which I can show you if you come up to me after. And but that makes me a little nervous because I have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old at home, right? And so we need to talk about proper storage. I have friends and family who I talk to them about how are you taking care of it. And I think really when you talk about the government's involvement, again, it's not necessarily a conversation of saying, hey, government's granting me the right to do this. Government's only there to protect and facilitate the rights. But there is a conversation to be had about regulating for testing or for fraud prevention or protecting the minors, which is its own conversation with, of course, everything going on with Epstein, but and impaired driving and everything like that. And so there is a role for government. It's just at what point, and this is really where the debate comes into play, is what does that look like? And to kind of turn this on its head, what you can do as an individual, which is one of the reasons why I stepped up and am running at the detriment to my wife and I's relationship, is the point is that we all have a voice. It's not just the people who are up here. It's not just the people in this building. Every single one of us have a voice. And so Mike has heard me say this, and I'm a terrible Christian in the sense that we only go on Easter and Christmas. And that I always have silent, and you sing Silent Night on Christmas, and you light a candle. And then my candle can light the senator's candle or the councilman's candle or anyone else in this room's candle. What's amazing about this is that the one candle can be blown out. The many can withstand the wind. And that's what I want for all of you here. What I want for Ohio in general is I want us to withstand the wind. And so the way you do that, I saw a video recently on Facebook, and I can't remember the guy's name, but it was an individual stepping up and talking at a Texas city council or some kind of chamber or public forum. And he said something very poignant that I wanted to kind of address also is that the government doesn't fear when you're loud, they fear when you're consistent. And so when you look at that, consistency is the name of the game, not only in government, but in life in general. One or two steps forward and one step back is still one step forward, right? And so this legislation, the SB 56, HB 611, right? We've gotten a step back. We need to keep moving forward because that's how you're going to run the marathon. And so in that conversation, what you guys can do as an individual is you can email, you can call, you can write letters to your state representatives. And to harken back to that, the Facebook video that I was mentioning, what was very cool about that was the fact that he said, if 300 people step up at this public forum to talk for 3 minutes apiece, that's 15 hours that these state representatives or these leaders will have to sit and listen to you. Same exact thing when you talk about emailing or phone calls or letters. You are going to inundate the system and that's going to force change. And that's how you make a change in the world. And so I just wanted to bring that up because not only does that echo the same exact sentiment of we want better from you as a representative. We want our will to be heard. We want our intent when we legalize marijuana to be heard. The way you do that is by going out and being loud about it and being consistent about it. And so, and I appreciate the insights because it's got my gears moving. And so,
Thank you very much for that story and that advice. It's always helpful to give people actionable things they can do to help drive these causes forward. Senator, one question I wanted to ask you, this was one that was actually provided us ahead of time. Ohio already has the JCARR to review admin rules. Do you ever see a future where there could be a cannabis oversight committee that would be created to help to ensure that the DCC is implementing the laws intended and protecting consumers and patients?
I mean, right now, I don't know if you're all familiar with how things actually work in government, but we pass laws and then the departments write rules and those rules come back to a committee called JCAR, Joint Committee on Agency Rule Review. And then those rules are adopted or not adopted and they'll become how the state agencies regulate anything. So there are a package of rules coming up, I think, with marijuana in the next JCAR or in this month or next month. I have not seen that package yet. I will say that Jim Canepa is actually a friend to the industry. I mean, the governor hates marijuana. Okay, the governor hates marijuana, smoking, alcohol, fireworks, gambling, and everything is fun except for having children. I've not been saying that because he has 14 or whatever it is. I said that before, but it's actually true. He doesn't like this stuff. And Jim Canepa works for the governor. I mean, he works for the Department of Commerce, who is a department under the governor. So he's doing his best to try to regulate the industry the best he can to actually help the industry and what it's trying to accomplish. Unfortunately, again, he takes orders. I mean, I've called on numerous occasions where the people in the industry have called me about, hey, this is a bad rule coming up, and we've got it stopped and we've got it changed. Because he's amenable to that. I don't know. I mean, having an oversight committee of the General Assembly, I mean, doesn't really work. I mean, we have these things. I mean, right now, all these people walking through are going for a special committee about data centers. And they're going to put out a bill today that I will hear tomorrow in committee because I'm on the committee is going to hear the data center bill. I have no idea what's in that bill. I have to have hearings on it tomorrow. I'll be lucky if I get that bill by 8 o'clock tonight for a hearing tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That's the reality of how government works. So having an oversight, I mean, I spent 2 summers ago here every week about a property tax committee that had 31 points, 31, and came out with 31, whatever the hell it was called, half of what's conflicted with the other half. Okay, so this is, I mean, folks, it's like making sausage. You never really want to know how this stuff works because it's not pretty and it's not smooth, it's not sexy, it's grinding, and it's again, if people